Commissioner on.
What's that?
Turn the AC on.
What's that, Chris?
Thank you. I'd like to call this meeting to order with the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a lot on the agenda tonight, so we're going to try to stay on topic as best as we can. Meeting minutes from February 25th.
I make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from February 25th, 2013.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any errors or omissions that anybody noticed?
Ready, tape it.
You got it in a second. No errors or omissions? Okay. Pat?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Okay. I know Carrie's taping tonight. Is anybody else taping the meeting? Sorry, Peter.
Well, you got the problem with the light company, I learned here.
I make a motion.
Okay, action on opening the annual town meeting warrant. I think we need a motion to open it,
So moved.
and we need a second.
Second. Sure.
Thank you. Any discussion before we open the warrant? Seeing none. Pat?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Okay. Now that it is open, we have 3 new citizens petitions here, and there's also,
And they're at the very end, a number of new articles proposed at the very end of what you have. Let me brief this from the top,
at the very end of what we
the very
have.
end of the draft warrant that you've got
Oh.
there. We cleaned up the warrant from 2 weeks ago, made minor editorial changes, nothing substantial, corrected English, put in the numbers spelled out, et cetera, et cetera. Moved those money articles to late in the reorder. We didn't change, add, or delete anything until you arrive at this last item after Article 60. There are several items here marked new, article new. And these are now being proposed, several by the select board, some by the fire chief, one by the personnel board, one by planning, 2 by community preservation.
Okay.
They are all marked new article new. They have not been approved, they're not numbered.
Okay, we will read them. There's 8 of them, and then,
I just put, the planning on our, when we were on the warrant before, number 35 and 8, it was actually 3 and 1, so that's all we did was separate. We made them individuals,
okay.
so it wasn't like all or nothing when they go to the floor.
Okay, is that
This
part
is
of
only
these new
some.
ones in the back?
I'm sorry, what?
Is that part of these new ones in the
I
back?
think so, I haven't seen it yet.
Well, we will read
Figure that
them.
when we get to it.
Yeah, okay.
I actually don't see anything from the planning board, so I don't think so. Unless it's the community preservation part.
No.
There's nothing on planning board.
It's water protection.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Okay.
Water protection.
You asked they be put in, so,
No, I just want to make sure it's separated.
yeah. Oh, the other ones, they're separate.
Oh, okay, but it doesn't say who put it in.
That's different.
It doesn't say who put it in, that's why I didn't see it. All right, the first new article, we'll read the 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, whatever it is. To see if the town will vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to enter into a property lease for up to 7,500 square feet of usable office space for a period not to exceed 5 years for the purpose of providing the town with general office space for the Board of Selectmen and other offices, boards, and committees of the town, or to take any other action relative thereto.
This was at the recommendation of Selectman Wilder. We are not sure whether we need a town meeting vote. 30B is silent. We need to release this building for office space. The question is whether we need a town meeting vote to endorse. This is certainly harmless. It is good to inform the town and let them take a sense of the town. There is obviously no specific value, no specific amount. It's just space and time. And it's better to be safe than sorry. We included in the warrant for that reason.
Okay. Next article, Or any questions on that? Okay, next article. To see if the town will vote to rescind town bylaw XLVII, which is 47, the personnel bylaw, and replace it with the following. The Board of Selectmen is responsible for the administration of all personnel policies and procedures submitted by the Personnel Board. And Julie, do you want to speak on that, or Virginia? You're both on the board. Is it, what's the purpose? Is it because you're not getting quorums? Or?
Because there's a conflict between the bylaw and the policy itself.
Okay.
And this will give it a start, so if it comes under the Board of Selectmen to administer the personnel policy, then we can clean it up without having to have a personnel board meeting and then having it come to the Board of Selectmen. There was a lot of redundancy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There was a lot of redundancy because Personnel Board makes suggestions to the Board of Selectmen, and also the DOI report suggested that we eliminate the Personnel Board.
Any other questions on that? Okay. To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, transfer from available funds, fund via debt exclusion, or otherwise provide the sum of $395,000 to purchase and equip a new pumper engine to replace the 1981 Ford fire engine, or to take any other action relative thereto. Submitted by the fire chief, who is not here at this time. Yep.
Did this go before capital planning?
Capital planning hasn't
No,
done it.
short answer, no,
No.
it's not.
Yes.
The bylaw has to go to capital planning prior.
Right.
I don't think he knew that. So, well, we're gonna vote him after, so we may have to not vote that one in. And besides that, isn't that, when we allocated last year for them to get their ambulance receipts, isn't that just what that was for, was things like
Yes.
this?
That is addressed in an article that still doesn't have money attached to it, but we addressed it in the last meeting, to see whether the town will appropriate those receipts reserved for ambulance to a specific purpose. And there's no dollar amount specified there yet, but there's roughly $180,000 in that account today that can be appropriated to any ambulance first, fire second purpose. That's the way the state law reads, ambulances first.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My understanding was when we turned the ambulance receipts over to them, that was their revolving fund, if you will, to use as their budget. So I don't know how they can appropriate it for something else if it's already meant for their budget.
I don't think it was meant for their budget, per se.
They
I think
don't-
it was meant for them to purchase equipment. Bob?
But still, regardless where the money comes from, it still has to go to capital.
Capital, right.
Yes.
See if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, transfer from available funds, fund via debt exclusion, or otherwise provide a sum of $179,473 to purchase a new ambulance, or to take any other action relative thereto. Same thing. They didn't go before capital. Right, that amount's high enough that it has to.
Oh, yeah, anything
Yep.
over $10,000 has to go.
So, he may be stricken out on both of those. All right, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, transfer from available funds, or otherwise provide a sum of $95,416 to hire 2 full-time equivalent firefighter EMTs to work daytime coverage 48 hours per week, Monday through Friday, or to take any other action relative thereto. I really wish the chief was here already.
Yeah.
I know he's coming in later, but,
He is expected.
yeah, later on. They were all up at the station when I came by. I know this is part of what he's coming in to talk to us about tonight. Does anybody have anything to say about this one?
Well, my only comment about it would be is, we've cut people's hours and eliminated people last year because we don't have enough money. and now we want to hire 2 more people. To me, that doesn't make any sense right now.
Well, and the other thing is, again, this was just voted down 2 years ago, maybe?
Right, but now there is the funding that's available, so
Right.
you could transfer from the available funds that we have.
Right, because it's for ambulance, it's really, they want them there for
The ambulance
EMT
funds.
calls
Yeah.
during the day. So, okay, next article, to see if the town will vote to amend the water protection supply bylaw by adopting new regulations required by the Department of Environmental Protection with the following language to be inserted into the town zoning bylaw. Electronic version of proposed section 8.1 public water supply protection at sec inserted here. What are you inserting there?
Well, here's the paper. I just
Oh.
don't have the electronic version, so you're welcome to
Okay.
look at the paper version.
I'm not gonna read all this.
It's essentially the public water zoning
It's only
with 2 maps attached.
But that will be available before town meeting?
I'm sorry, what?
That will be available before town meeting, so people can read it?
Electronically?
Yeah.
This will get into the,
We'll put it in the warrant.
Yeah.
it should get put right into the warrant.
Yeah. We'll put the whole thing in the warrant, but also,
We did a joint, oh, sorry, yeah.
to Virginia's point, we should make copies, we should put it on the website and make copies available. I just don't want to kill a lot of trees making hundreds of copies, but people should read this in advance of town meeting and know what it says. It's about 7 pages of zoning bylaw, so it's not inconsiderable.
Actually, that came from the joint meeting we had with the
Yep. And this
water
was,
department in regards to DEP recognizing our new wellhead protection areas, which actually is smaller than what we,
And
before the
this
whole
was-
half the town was
Right.
this
considered
was
wellhead
on the
protection.
warrant before, you just separated it from another article, correct?
This is actually the, it was just held by placing before, this is actually the article
Okay.
itself. This is,
Oh, that's right, because you met afterwards.
because what it does, it not only, we're not only adding zones, but we're actually changing language within the town's bylaws, so
Okay.
things are redundant from themselves, so it's
All right,
basically just shake your head and say, yep,
so
sounds good.
anybody that wants to check up on this should really get a
Read it,
copy of
yeah.
this.
Yeah, you're welcome to stop by, I'll make copies, we'll get it up on the website, etc.
Okay, to see if the town will vote to modify the language voted in Article 7 of the November 7, 2011 special town meeting to place a conservation restriction on all of the lands conveyed to the North County Land Trust by David Dwelly in order to allow an agricultural preservation restriction on 5 acres or less, or appropriate agricultural land at Dwelly Farm, or to take any other action relative thereto submitted by the CPC. And this has to do with the elementary school property that we're,
Both of these articles, that and the next one, are a pair.
Yeah.
They work together.
Chris, I have a question.
yes.
On that switch of the lamp, I thought they were taking the Elliott Hill Road to exchange for that lamp to school.
Well, that was one of the ones suggested, if you wanna,
The Elliott Hill property will be used in exchange for any forestry land we use, and the Dwelly Farm restriction, agricultural restriction will be used for any agricultural land we use, because it's a mixture of usage and it needs to be replaced one to one. So if we use agricultural, we need to re-protect agriculture. If we use forest, we need to re-protect forest.
okay? And the last one, to see if the town will vote to appropriate $15,000 from the CPA Open Space Reserve to the North County Land Trust to enable the transfer of the agricultural preservation restriction on the Dwelly Farm from the North County Land Trust to the town of Templeton in the form and timing as may be required by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to enable the transfer of state lands at the Templeton Development Center to the town for the purpose of building an elementary school, also by the CPC. And it's just said it goes with the one previous. So other than the 2 fire equipment purchases,
3, oh, yeah.
well, the other one's not of equipment.
I've got another one that I just wrote up today. If you want to take it. And the reason for the delay is that on Friday, I guess it came in at 6:13 PM. The date stamp is fine. We received a response from the manager of the Light and Water Plant to the questions about the water system that we had forwarded. And under number 7, what is the age of the water main along Ballinville Road? Will that water main be replaced before the federally funded 2013 reconstruction of Ballinville Road? The Ballinville water main was engineered in 1949 and construction began in 1950 and was likely completed in 1952. No, the AC water main in use, although 60-plus years of age, was placed in the ground with low acidic properties, thereby not eating away at the AC water main like it would have been on Patriots Road, high pH levels. Ballinville Road has not historically been a trouble spot for water main breaks for the town of Templeton. Just having received that, I think it is incumbent upon the
Right.
town to...
I'll read this so they know what it says. To see if the town will vote a capital debt exclusion according the,
Sorry, it was in her.
okay, in the amount of $500,000 for the replacement of water mains on Ballinville Road.
And my reason for submitting this as a capital debt exclusion, I think you can spread it over more years. And I think it is irresponsible to redo Ballinville Road, reconstruct the road, and not replace the 60-plus-year-old water mains. And I think it's up to the citizens to make that decision, so that's why I brought this forward. I would have brought it forward sooner, but I did not have the information.
Okay. Now, this would have to go to a ballot afterwards
Yes, yes.
if it passes at town meeting.
Right.
Is this a citizen's petition or what?
No, I'm doing it as a selectman.
Because it's got to go as a capital debt exclusion to the town. It's not something they're asking Light and Water to do on their own, they're asking the town to pay for it. To get them changed over while they're doing.
But the water department doesn't think it needs to be done.
Chris, I have a question.
Yes.
You're gonna start on that road next week, correct? On the road?
Are they going to be starting that soon?
They're doing sidewalks, they're not doing any road
Oh, the
surface. They're doing
sidewalks will be done
curb
first?
sidewalks first.
Okay, I was
The
gonna
road
say, 'cause
grinding will be later in the summer.
I was gonna say, because you're doing this and then they're already gonna start the
Right, the
thing. and-
timing may be off. It's gonna be a hard sell anyway,
Yeah,
but I feel it's important that we at least ask the people, you know, do they want to spend that amount of money? And it's a rough estimate.
I believe that's before it myself.
Dana?
Well, I don't know, a rough estimate, I mean, I don't know where these figures came from, Mr. Stewart, but I think it'd be a lot more expensive to replace 3.5 miles of water main at $500,000.
Yeah.
I don't know where you get these figures from.
Well, as chairman of the Board of Light and Water, what would your estimate be? Because I'm willing to make an amendment.
I don't know, I have to have, I'm a contractor, I'm not an engineer, so I think we'd have to get prices out in the engineering thing. I think there's a figure like, I don't know, $100 a foot, I don't know, I have no idea, I'm not gonna shoot from the hip like
3
some
miles?
people do.
It's just over 3 miles, I think.
You probably, I'd side with Dana, I mean, just as a quick estimate, that you're probably looking at $100 a foot. So that's
$3 million.
That'd be like $1.5 million.
Something we
Is
really don't
it-
need.
I have a question, Chris.
Yes.
Is there, I guess through you, back to Dana or whatever, is there an area on Baldwin that is prone to breaks? I know we had that episode, whatever, but not counting that, is there any area on there? Because I'm just saying, 'cause if the townspeople were to go for that, it would be, you could do a change order within the contract, if it was to be funded. Of course, you wouldn't be putting it out to bid, you'd have to do a change order at best, otherwise we're gonna lose the whole damn road. I mean, as far as the project itself, we'll lose funding and everything. So if anything, we'd have to go to Perkins for a change order. I'm just curious if there's any.
Other than that one in July, the only other area I know is right in front of used to be Dr. Bell's office, Dr. Hoysen's
Templeton's
office.
house?
Yeah.
On Ballinville Road.
Yeah, on
No,
Ballinville Road.
No.
his office, not his house. Down in
Oh,
town,
okay.
across from Jerry.
Right, and then across from the high school.
But that was
That's a service.
The ones across from high school was a service.
That was a service to the house, yeah.
I believe the one across from Tom's Pizza, following Tom's Pizza, going to July, that was
That was all part of the chain
Well, that was
reaction.
part of the chain reaction, but I think that pipe in that area was excavated before, so the soil around the pipe was disturbed. You know, maybe around the pipe, it wasn't compact or something, but most, I mean, the breaks or whatever they had on bottom of the road hasn't been named at all. I mean, but the one that they did have in July was they felt as if it was, because when they did so, I think it was, when they tied water in for Tom's or somewhere in that area of pipe had been disturbed before. So when, you know, I mean, before you start putting petitions on, you think you get some real facts. I mean, as far as costs and stuff like this, and just shooting from the hip. I mean, $500,000 is gonna go nowhere.
Well, it would have been nice if we had had a response from the manager of Templeton Light and Water before Friday.
Yeah.
That would have helped a lot in estimating this. Would have been a huge.
Well, we didn't feel as if there was a need to replace it, so we got all your answers.
All right, so the board voted that there wasn't a need to replace the water mains on
I
Walpole
think
Road?
it was, I don't believe we took a vote, but it was discussed as far as the manager and the water superintendent who are the experts in the field.
So there was discussion.
There might have been discussion between those two, but I mean, we asked them if there was a problem. There you go, no, there's nothing wrong with it. It's right, I think it's right in that letter to them. They didn't feel there was a problem with it.
Right, so, I guess we need to decide on this one first, because this was just put in front of us.
It was, and I apologize for that.
That's okay. But as, if it's being submitted by the board, we need to approve that it go on.
I think it'd be a great idea if the town would replace it and the taxpayers pay just like they did for the sewer, but we're not gonna do that. I mean, we're all complaining about the taxes and water rates and stuff now. I mean, we have the same problem with even resurfacing roads in town.
Do you want to amend this to change the amount, or do you want to leave it as that?
I'll leave it as it is.
So I need a motion and a second and to see if we want to put it on the warrant.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Anybody want a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Put it on the warrant. See what
Any
people wanna do.
discussion? No other discussion? Huh? Yep.
And you're gonna put on the warrant at what figure, 500,000? So if people think they're gonna replace the whole water main, all on Baldwin Road for $500,000. That's not gonna happen.
Look at your, the booster station maybe, that's about it?
I have no idea, like I told you.
I mean, just guessing.
Yes, Bob.
Before we get figures, we get engineering studies done.
Yeah.
With the lack of information and everything, and the lateness of the submittal, I think it's best to leave it off. Dana says it's just confused. People think they're gonna get that whole stretch done for that much.
Yeah. You gotta have the right figures before you do that.
Yes.
Chris, if you don't actually do something like this, and they put in a brand new road, and then they're gonna tear it up, I mean.
Well, that's her reasoning
Where
for
did
putting it on.
actually, well, pretty stupid. Okay, is there a way to check the actual pipes without tearing up the road, some kind of horoscope to go down there and inspect them, or, no? Because I actually work in the construction field, $500,000 don't take it that far.
I know.
But I'm certainly sure it's actually something that should be done. I mean, check, I mean, it could go and save you a lot. I mean, actually, probably try to spend it now, you're gonna really save it afterwards.
Dana?
What is the scope of the project anyway? They're just grinding the road? I mean, they're not.
All they do is grinding it.
The road's been all gravelled all the way from Baldwinville, all the way to Templeton over the years. Steve Manty did it. I mean, they took all the dirt out and gravelled the whole road. Are they just planing it?
It's predominantly
Yeah, it's
curbing
not-
and sidewalks.
It's not a full construction.
Yeah, they're planing, they're not going full
You
depth.
know, it's no different than any other places in town that we've been paving roads.
Right.
deal
I
with.
mean, all the roads that you pave in town, we don't replace water mains.
Jeff?
Full depth project is the Templeton Common Act. The last 300-400 yards are being completely reconstructed. Other than that, it's cold planing, resurfacing, some inlet structure work, and mostly curbs and sidewalks. Mostly curbs and sidewalks. But short answer, yes, it's just replaning.
Because that road, like I said, it had good material all the way. It's all been dug out when Steve Mankey was here and replaced with gravel. It's not like the rest of the roads in town. They still have boulders, and we had that same problem with Sawyer Street. When Sawyer Street and a few other streets in town were paved last year, the road wasn't totally reconstructed, but there was boulders and stuff that were in there that God put in there. When they started whacking it with the big with the vibrator, it broke the water main.
I just want
I'll take the difference.
Go ahead.
When that was done, the guy that was the clerk of the works was dumping stuff back, the same stuff back in the hole that he took out. Check who the clerk of the works was on that job, Dana. Come on.
What was that?
Okay, let's
Follow
stay
the
on,
road.
hey, let's stay on
Catch
topic.
up for what?
Let's,
Charlie, forget.
quiet!
Wasn't all hauled out. The man is dead now.
Peter, please! Charlie.
Yeah, when they resurfaced Route 2A in Templeton, they could not dig a hole in it for 7 years. And if you're gonna do Bollinsville Road over and something goes wrong, you can't touch that road for 7 years until they make a mark like they have on Route 2A that has caused problems right now.
Baldwin Road's not a state road, so they have no say over it. Route 2A is a state road, so they had the say. All right, so we're gonna vote on just this capital debt exclusion, whether to put it on the warrant or not. Okay? Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
No.
I have to vote? Jeez.
Sucks sometimes.
Pressure's on.
I'm gonna say no, because unless we put the right amount in, I don't think it's worth even trying to
That's
bring
the
it.
only problem. It's not gonna sell like this.
All right, now back to the new articles. Are we all in agreement that we need to pull out the 2 fire equipment pieces because he didn't go to capital planning?
Well, what if capital planning meets before now in town meeting?
Then we'd have to reopen the warrant again.
No, we could put them on placeholder, but if they doesn't go before capital planning between now and then they can't be read at town meeting. That's how we can approach it. We need to let the chief know that too.
Right.
So,
To find people to be on campus.
so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new articles plus 3 citizens petitions. And I'll read those after we do these 8 articles, because the citizens petitions, we can't stop anyway, so. So on these 8 articles, is there any article that people have an issue with putting on the warrant? Seeing none, I will take a motion to add these 8 articles to the warrant.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, Pat?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Question?
Yes.
So we will presume that capital planning can meet and address these 2 articles.
He's coming out.
It'll have to inform advisory straight away, because advisory has to be made aware of this. Okay.
So, and then if he doesn't go to capital plan, then they just they cannot be read
They
at town
cannot be
meetings.
read out if it does not go to capital planning and advisory. The bylaw says advisory gets a notice when capital planning has met.
Boy, are you in
Sure.
trouble.
Last minute again. There you go.
Bob, did you have a question?
Yeah, how many active members are on the capital planning currently?
1, 2, who's one?
Planning does not have a member. We need a planning board member for capital planning.
Who is on capital planning? How many members do you have?
God,
Julie
Pete sent it to me.
will,
Julie will,
a member from planning, a member at large,
Which is,
school.
and school. There's 5 members.
Who's on from the school?
I don't think they have made an appointment that I know.
so you don't even have a quorum
So
of
if one
people.
person, nobody from planning, and is there a citizen at large? So you
No,
don't-
they're.
So you don't even have a
enough for a
quorum
quorum.
of people on the board.
You get
Can't do it
someone
anyway.
from planning, you can have a quorum.
I'm sure there's a reason they haven't met till this point.
Just to let you know, We just went over your new warrant articles, the 2 for your pieces of equipment. You have not gone to capital planning with those.
Okay.
So unless that happens between now and town meeting, they cannot be read at town meeting. And that's what we're trying to figure out, if they can have a quorum to have a capital planning meeting.
Well, we'd have to appoint someone tonight to get from planning to be on capital planning. Right?
Yeah, because we don't meet again for 2 weeks.
Right.
Yes, Pat?
Through you. Chief, the 2 new full-time EMTs you're looking for
Yes.
come through ambulance receipts?
They could come through ambulance receipts. That's how you put it.
How much do we have saved up right now if we wanted to purchase vehicles
I
and
project 180 by the end of the year.
180,000 by the end of the year? And you want to get vehicles and all that kind of stuff out of that
It's
too?
totally up to you. My job is to present you with the facts.
Right.
All right, so,
Chris,
yes, Peter?
I just don't understand why the fire department gets such a hard time. You need ambulance service, everybody needs it in town. The town of Phillips and all these other towns have it, and we go against every fireman in this town, everything they want. They go against them, go against them. They
We're
go
not-
against them, they went against them last year with the fire truck.
We're not giving them a hard
I
time.
hope every house burns down, the people against it, that's what I say.
Peter, we're not giving them a
that's-
hard
that's
time, we're
really
just
civil.
telling them the
You
rules.
ain't giving them a hard time, why the hell did somebody inform them then before? You were sitting up there a bunch of years, don't you know the law?
I didn't know he was
Is that the
putting
red
those
line
on.
law?
We didn't know he was putting those on until this week.
Well, he had a right to put them on.
Well, yeah, he did.
Okay, can we stay on point? I wanna,
I'll just, you can vote me from planning if you want, just so we can.
okay, we'll do that in a while.
I can resign just as fast as I can volunteer.
Right.
The 3,
Awesome.
here's the 3 citizens petitions. We, the undersigned, are qualified voters of the town of Templeton and request the subject below be acted upon at the annual town meeting held on May 14th, 2013. To see if the town will vote to form a government study committee assigned to fully study the current organization of the government of Templeton and to study and make recommendations for improvement to the current town government makeup, including but not limited to consideration of a town charter / town administrative form of government. The committee shall be appointed by the town moderator during the months of May and June of 2013. The committee will seek input from all boards, commissions, and committees, as well as from the public via means of public informational meetings or hearings. The Board of Selectmen will ensure meeting space for said committee, as well as access to legal advice as needed, and access to the copy machines and other office equipment when necessary. Findings of the Government Study Committee will be presented in a report to the town voters at the 2014 annual town meeting. Any discussion on that?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
Peter? We can't.
No, it's a citizen.
I know, it's going
It just
on,
goes
but-
on, so-
Never mind.
2 years ago, we wanted $8,000 to do that. A couple of people sitting up there didn't think it was worth it. Now, is this gonna be free or what?
Citizens petition.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess we're not gonna discuss it, because I have a couple things I'd like to say about it. We the, excuse me. We, the undersigned, are qualified voters of the town of Templeton and request the subject below be acted upon at the annual town meeting, May 14, 2013. Creating a sex offender residency by law. It is the intent of this bylaw to serve and protect the town's compelling interest to promote, protect the safety and welfare of the citizens of Templeton by creating safety zones wherein level 2 and 3 sex offenders are prohibited from loitering and establishing temporary or permanent residence within a 2,500 feet of, there's 6 things here, licensed daycare center, school zones, school bus stop, recreational facilities, library, and elderly, meaning over 55 community.
I'm not going to discuss it at all. I'd really like to ask the chief if that's legal.
Do you want me to read all the names?
Or is there one title person or a whole bunch of people?
There's 14 names on here,
Okay.
and it's all been certified by Carol.
Can we ask the chief if that's legal to?
I don't think we want
It
to,
doesn't matter.
we don't want
It's
to
a
expend
Okay.
legal money
After it's
on
voted,
citizen petition,
then
right?
No,
what
we
would happen
don't.
is the Attorney General will say if it's legal or not.
It's up to the attorney
Pretty
general
much.
to decide the,
Right.
the wording.
That's how it works. Okay, let's see, No, I'm just looking. Move to amend the present common sewer bylaw, Article 24, Section 2, to read, to amend the present common sewer bylaw, Article 24, by adopting as Town of Templeton bylaw the rules and regulations regarding the use of common sewers as outlined and stated in publication number 5541 of the Massachusetts Water Resources Commission of 1969, revised in 1974, entitled Suggested Rules and Regulations regarding the use of common sewers for the cities and towns of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, noting that Article 9, Section 3 of said publication shall be revised to read, the homeowner must also pay for any repairs and for replacement made to his sewer service between the property line and the house, including charges stemming from blockages of said sewer line.
Question?
Yes.
I'm aware of the reason for this, and I'll address it to Virginia because you handed me this.
Yep.
I think it might make more sense if you also included the part that's being deleted or revised, so it's clear what this is all about to the whoever votes on this, you know what I'm saying? So
I can still have the information.
Is that a citizen petition?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Can't change it.
We can't
do that.
We can't change it, but they can have
You can put out informational
at
material.
town
I didn't get it in time to put it in
Okay.
as a
Do you
selectman,
understand
so.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
So
Just so it's
it
clear
will
what's
be up
being deleted
to,
or changed.
right, it'll be up to the people of the petition to have that information available at the town meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any bills now what's being deleted?
I don't have it in front of me.
I would be glad to
Well,
tell you after the meeting.
Yeah, all I can, I think it, right now it says it goes to the main. So it could, the customer, the homeowner could be paying if it even into the road area. And what they're trying to change it to is just property.
Just so the customers are liable only from their property line in.
Yes, Bob?
What's the total number of articles on the warrant?
71 now, I think, would be.
That'll bring the sleeping bag, I guess.
It was at 60, and then we added 11 tonight. At this time, I will take a motion to close the warrant.
Move to close the warrant?
Second?
Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
Okay.
Chris,
Yes.
I just had a question on the overall warrant.
Yeah.
And the budget, is that available for the?
Will be shortly, yeah. Budget's not in balance, but it's, I can give you a green sheet.
This is for a draft on either one
Yeah.
of them.
Tomorrow, come by, print it out for you.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll have draft all over it, that's okay. It's not close, we're close, but we're trying to get out.
Okay, next on the agenda, Conservation Commission. Polly's doesn't have a voice, so I'm just gonna read the letter here. And then Jeff also, we also have minutes from this meeting saying, and Jeff has spoken with the chairman of this commission as well. During our Conservation Committee meeting on Monday, March 18th, it was mentioned to change the Conservation Commission from 7 members to 5 members. We all agreed to bring it to your attention, your meaning the select board. Chairman George Andrews said that he had talked to Mr. Ritter about it a couple of months ago. Verbal don't go well with me, so I want to make this request formal and have it done as soon as possible. We could not make a quorum at 2 meetings, so it should be done immediately, as we had another member resign this week. And this was written 2 weeks ago, so they're having trouble making quorums at 7 members. Yes?
Chris, that has to be done at town meeting. If they're gonna change the number of people on the committee.
Yeah, I think you're right, because when we changed rec, we had to do it at town meeting.
Plus, we changed ones on that, one other committee that I was on, we changed because we couldn't, as advisory board, we changed that because we couldn't get 9, so we changed it to 7. That has to be done at town meeting.
Conservation
Is it
Commission.
in our bylaws or the number of
That
members?
that was a bylaw.
Right.
It's not in
Advisory's in the
Yeah.
bylaw.
Yeah, it
So that
depends
has to
on
come
whether
up
it's
at
a
the annual.
bylaw committee or not.
The
Conservation.
Excuse me, the MACC says between 2 and 7 members, the MACC book.
Unless our bylaw states we have to have 7
Right.
members, it's just a
There's
different.
nothing in the bylaw.
That's the only reason the advisory had to go through
Okay,
town
Right.
meeting.
Well, when we changed rec, we had to go to town meeting.
Well, that must have been in the bylaw too.
Yeah, it might
No.
have
Go
to
there, change it.
But conservation is not in the bylaw?
Yeah.
The number of members,
Found it.
it's not listed and it doesn't apply.
Okay.
No, we went
We've
through it.
reduced Templeton, we've reduced
Okay.
personnel, we've
You know
reduced
what,
number of
if you want, we can recheck the MACC book if you want.
So they wanna go from
But I
7
wanna
to
say it
5.
says 2 to 7 or something.
So what do we do, assume that it's okay to do it?
Well,
Well,
we
you know what,
can,
I can run it by town council in the morning too, if you vote to do this.
we can vote it to
Contingent
start
on-
as of the new year, July 1,
Contingent on getting a,
contingent on it being legal
vetted,
by law. Yeah.
vetted.
That it's illegal, yeah.
Because I think it is legal as long as, as I understand, the Conservation Commission serves a term appointed by and at the pleasure of the Board of
Board of
Selectmen.
Selectmen.
So the correct way to do this is to not reorganize now, but to reorganize July 1 with a new committee of whatever size and whatever members you want. It could be a committee of, oh, I don't know, Sue's correct, 2, or 5, or 7, or 9.
It might be
any
more
number
than
you-
2, but I know it's
That's the odd number.
kind of, yeah.
Everything.
Maybe it's 3 to 7 or something like that, I forget. We'll check when we go home.
As being a past conservation chairman,
Yes.
that's not in the bylaw, and she is correct, that it can be from 2 to 7. It should be an odd number.
And they wanna go to 5 is what they were asking. what the
Yeah, it only takes up
commission's
3 to have
asking.
a quorum now.
Yeah, and we don't have to go to town meeting.
Virginia.
Move to allow the Conservation Commission to go to 5 members pending legal review.
As of, you wanna make it start July 1 with the new year?
As of the new fiscal year, yeah, July 1st.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none. Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Tito,
Yes, sir.
you are up. You
What do you want to know?
I don't know, it says,
What do you want to tell us?
We have your minutes.
You
of
got
your
the
meeting.
minutes of the
Yeah.
meeting we held for the tree hearing?
yep,
And that's what we did.
Well, I understand that I want to say, they'll use the word controversy. It was an interested group. Was it a
Okay.
hearing?
All right, they were informed that anybody in objection to taking the trees down would submit in writing to the selectmen a letter that they objected to the trees coming down. Now, whether anybody objected or not in writing,
Not
I'm
yet.
not sure.
Nothing yet in writing.
Well, then it's pretty much cut and dry, the trees are coming down.
and I read something in the paper, that any tree that comes down is gonna be replaced, correct?
Yes. Yeah, we worked off the plans that the state has.
Okay, and I guess the other question was, what's gonna be done with the wood when the trees come down?
Oh, this is an interesting thing. It's gonna be fair and equal to every citizen in the town. The contractor gets the wood. There will be no squabbling. Someone will say, I got birch and I wanted oak, everybody gets nothing.
Takes care of that.
Oh, that's that, okay.
That problem?
That works.
Thanks for looking out for the townspeople, Mr. Trigwood.
No, that's happened before, it happened.
Do you get a better price? Do you get a better price from the contractor by giving him the wood?
What's that?
Do you get a better price from the contractor?
I
by
have
giving him the
no
wood?
idea.
This
I
is,
mean, the
all
general
done.
contractor is Perkins, he hires someone to take the trees
Right,
down.
it's all done by the,
this is part of a federal highway project. There is a complete arbor plan, which we thought when we were reviewing the project last summer was ridiculously over the top. It is entirely federally funded. You're all federal taxpayers, and you should be glad your tax dollars are working for you. And as Mr. Tito said, they're taking the trees down, they're removing them at their expense, and they're replanting whatever they replant at their expense. It will be mixed arborage, so they're not gonna put in all maples or all oaks, but they've decided where to put what. And my head was spinning, but we actually got into quite a discussion last summer about this, but we don't have very much leverage on the issue, is the point I'm trying to make.
okay.
So there's no vote we need to take on?
No, this was just, I think, a form of, let people know.
Okay, that's easy enough. The only school committee member I don't see here is Mark. He said he was gonna address us. Yeah,
He asked me to speak.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Discuss reconciliation issues, is that what you want to say? Reconciliation issues, okay.
This is just kind of a status report based on some questions were asked
Yeah.
after March 13th meeting and again at the last meeting.
Okay.
So after a whole series of discussions between Virginia, myself, Kent, and Linda down at the treatment plant, and between Mark, myself, and Jeff, and also with Fred, the accountant. Everything seems to be in place. As far as I know, Virginia was satisfied with the results that were presented to her down at the treatment plant. As far as the reconciliations go, all the books have been reconciled right along the way. There was one question about what was the status of the last couple of months which Linda had reconciled, but had not given that information to the main office yet. There was some miscommunication between Fred and whoever she talks to. So as far as I'm concerned, the issues are put to bed.
I think part of the problem was that Scott didn't want or require reconciliations from the sewer department, and so they really didn't know they needed to prevent them until.
Right along, they just sometimes they hadn't
been transferred up.
And as it turns out, they didn't know how much money they had. It's just a matter of the way the state wants the reconciliations done. They want it proved in a different way. So,
as far as I'm concerned, as far as
very good. Any questions? Mr. Mail.
The whole packet from it.
I know. It looks like it's gonna be fun.
Good evening.
Hi.
As you know, we've been working on designing a playground up at Gilman Waite. And we did have a meeting on April 2nd with the Recreation and the Cemetery Commissioners. And both of those boards have decided that the design that we're working on is what they would like to see the town purchase. And I have been working with Jeff Ritter on the procurement of this project, and I'm not sure where he is at this point today. We've had mixed responses on the actual procurement, so I would ask Jeff if he has heard anything more today.
Not since we spoke first thing. Have had no further input. The question is whether we can procure this equipment off of a state-approved contract. There were amendments made to state contract law in the summer of '10, which are not tried and true. And because of that, you might consider this breaking trail. And we're trying to get a formal opinion as to whether the so-called cooperative contract approach, which is to use a public contract from outside the Commonwealth, is appropriate and binding. And we've asked a lot of questions, we're still waiting for answers. The answer is not no, it's just not yet yes.
Okay. So, should we not vote on this then tonight if we don't have an answer to that question?
Well, I have spoken with Jeff, as I said, at length over this issue, and I believe that we should postpone a vote on purchasing this playground equipment until we are sure that our procurement is set. It certainly would be a risk to the town to move forward and vote to purchase this at this time with the procurement not set the way we'd like to see it. So I would recommend that you hold off and wait and let us continue to work on that cooperative contract or other options.
Would one of your options be to just go out and get 2 more bids on it?
Yep, we could do a request for proposals. And another option is to make sure that the state actually executes a blanket playground equipment contract, which they're working on. They've been working on for a year. They're just not delivering.
More years
I almost think it would be worth going and getting a couple more bids.
Exactly.
And then if the state
doesn't come through.
finishes this issue, then we
Well,
can-
how long does it take to do an RFP? Is it 2 months, 60 days?
Well, it has to be posted for 14, you have, in the newspaper, et cetera, and then usually you need to let them have 3 weeks to respond after that, that's 5 weeks. 6 at a minimum, 6 to 8.
Okay.
If I started on it tomorrow, it would be 6 weeks before we open a bid.
Bob?
Mr. Chairman, is this specific to Gilman Way only? We
This-
do have other playgrounds in town.
Right, well, this playground is for Gilman Way. Because this is being used with the Bajari money that was voted on last year.
I know this is being ignored.
Not ignored, I don't think. There's, they're trying to finish one project. I know the playground equipment up here needs to be repaired. We've discussed that. Alan and I have anyway. But, we want to get the Gilman project.
I do have information from the state at this point that they are working on a state bid contract for playground equipment. They are in the process right now of having all of the contractors that do playgrounds, install playgrounds, submit all their paperwork for April 23rd. How long beyond that they actually take to get that contract set is anybody's guess, but.
I don't think it's gonna hurt us to go in two parallel paths, watch the state and do an RFP.
So this is in motion while that's
Right,
being
in
waited
case
for.
they drag their feet. And then if they come up with it, we can always, drop the RFP.
All right, I'll make a motion that we do a request for proposals for playground equipment for Gilman Wakefield.
Second.
Any other discussion? Seeing none. Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Chief Whitaker? You have a couple things you want to discuss. it looks like.
Good evening. A couple things we need to address. In dispatch, one of our full-time dispatchers, Charlene Van Court is a National Guard member. She has been activated and will be going to Iraq for 1 year. So we need to replace her with a temporary full-time dispatcher. We've done our advertising, done our interviews, done our backgrounds, and we have 2 candidates who will put forward. One is ready to go and had a medical, the other one we're scheduling a medical. I'm going to fill one full-time position on a temporary 1 year. It would be a full-time position, 1 year. When Charlene comes back, we have to award her position back. That person would revert back to a part-time position. Our part-time staff has been depleted because of a couple of our officers that actually stepped up, and now our full-time police officers were part-time dispatchers, so I'm going to add 1 part-time dispatcher to supplement us for the summer. So I would request that Shannon O'Brien be appointed full-time dispatcher. We would just do a from now to June 30th appointment now. She is cleared with her medical and background and ready to go. So if we could have that appointment effective tomorrow morning would be fine, we'll get her trained. She's ready to go. The second, questions?
No, I think she was going to make the motion.
Okay, all right, I'll wait.
Move that we allow the appointment of Shannon O'Brien, full-time dispatch effective 4/8/2013 to June 30th, 2013. She will be replacing dispatcher Charlene Van Cott, who is a member of National Guard and has been activated for 1 year. Also to move, well, there are 2
I
appointments.
know, well, he hasn't talked about that.
Oh, okay.
And just to, did you want to vote on Shannon before or I was going to add a...
Well, now we have the motion in.
I'll second it.
Okay, any other discussion on the full-time dispatch? Seeing none. Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
Okay, and our second appointment would be Kevin Wood. Kevin Wood comes to us with a background in public service. He's a firearms instructor. He's worked at Mass State Police Academy. He's going to be a very good fit for us. He would be a part-time dispatcher pending his medical. His background is cleared, his interview has been cleared. I will have his medical scheduled this week. And that I would just suggest that the appointment be made pending clearance of the medical. That way, if there is a problem, we're all set, but we can also get him going also.
Okay. Move to allow the appointment of Kevin Wood as part-time dispatcher effective 4/8/2013 to June 30th, 2013, pending his medical exam.
Seconded by Pat. Any discussion on that? Seeing none. Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
The second item we have is we need to schedule contract negotiations for the police and dispatch. Both contracts are up, and we'd like to schedule negotiation dates.
We're ready to go. The three of us at this end of the table are the negotiating team.
The union has asked me, and my contract is also up, that we just pick a date and try to get it done.
Yep.
What are we looking at?
Okay, try and get it done. You want to wait till tomorrow or try and schedule something right now?
As long as it's being addressed, I think that was the
You
concern.
want to do it tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow morning. I'll
Okay.
hold the rest of the committee here.
Yep, I'll stop down tomorrow and see.
Generally, we're going to do late in the day. I think I already spoke to Eric about this. 4 PM is ideal.
Yeah, I can be here for 4, except
4:30?
Wednesdays, yeah.
Okay, so it'll be late in the day.
Okay, any other questions from the board while I'm sitting here and have my attention? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Mr. Laporte? Chief Laporte?
Wait a minute, I'll take this.
I was not able to print out one of your things.
Sorry, I printed it for you.
Good man. I knew you would.
Mine came
I have this one. The other one, yeah, it's right. That's why, that's what I meant. I couldn't read it. That's what mine looked like when it came out, like Julie's. It was tiny.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
This is
I
much
assume
better.
there may be a difficult.
Thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to enlarge it.
I had trouble with that myself.
thank you.
Call your attention to the first page. I have some extras if anyone would like them also.
Thank you. I was say, I thought you gave me.
What I proposed is a grade increase on the ambulance, and it's going to go from 475 to 736.26, which represents Medicare plus 100%. And the chart on the next page, if you look down, I had it highlighted on the one I sent you at home, but it's down below the line. Oops. Yeah, right after the indent of all departments, it says billing rate Medicare plus. These are some towns in our area, or in the general area, all of 5 to 10,000 population, that are pretty much our size. And you've got data here for the call volume that they do. There's also data here for several other things. You can look at the rates of the personnel, the amount of calls, the staffing, et cetera. It's just pretty much just a good analysis page. And you'll see that if I take it to Medicare plus 100%, it's still on the low end of reasonable. They go up to 300% here, the average is around 250%, 200%.
All of them are realistic except for one.
Some of them are realistic, some of them are idealists.